Vulcan is a physical water treatment system. There are three Vulcan effects. The first effect, Vulcan stops scaling pipes and appliances. The second effect, Vulcan gently sanitizes the piping system. And the third effect, Vulcan protects against rust damage and perforation. The first Vulcan effect. Vulcan stops scaling in pipes and appliances. Without the Vulcan water treatment, the scale particles in the water form chaotic crystals. They have many sharp endings, as you can see in the photo. In this structure, the crystals attach to each other and to any surface. This way, scale is forming. When the water is coming in through the main pipe, it passes the Vulcan impulse field. The electric impulses align the crystal structure and create smooth monocrystals. These monocrystals can no longer attach to each other. The material that normally forms scale is now washed away as a fine powder. This leads to the first so-called Vulcan effect. Vulcan stops scaling in pipes and appliances. The formation of new deposits is stopped. When the Vulcan impulse field has been passed, the water is then carrying the effect throughout the piping system into the entire building. The second Vulcan effect. Vulcan gently sanitizes the piping system. The pipes in older buildings are often full of scale. Sometimes they are even completely blocked. When Vulcan is installed, it cleans out the pipes over time. When the treated water passes the deposits, Vulcan dismantles layer after layer of these deposits. The scale dissolves again back into the water and is washed out. Nature has been building scale over the time. Vulcan now reverses this process and takes everything out again. Gradually and carefully, the deposits in the pipes will be removed. Third Vulcan effect. Vulcan protects against rust damage and perforation. All pipes that are made of metal often face the problem of rust and pitting corrosion. Pitting corrosion destroys the pipe over time. How does Vulcan help here? The Vulcan-Impulse-Technology produces a protective metal carbonate layer, which settles there in this last layer. According to the material of the pipe, this layer consists of copper carbonate, iron carbonate, or zinc carbonate, and settles on all shiny metal surfaces. The Vulcan treatment wants to create as many monocrystals as possible. When the monocrystals are created by the impulse variation, it is important that they grow as long as possible before they then make their way through the piping system. The larger the crystals, the longer it takes until the crystals fall apart again and eventually die. In warm water, these crystals grow faster and therefore are stronger and live longer. This explains why the Vulcan effect lasts the longest in warm water. Here it lasts up to 7 days. The effect lasts a bit shorter in cold water, where the treatment lasts approximately for 2 days. To sum it up again, there are 3 Vulcan effects. The first effect, Vulcan stops scaling pipes and appliances. The second effect, Vulcan gently sanitizes the piping system. And the third effect, Vulcan protects against rust damage and perforation. What effect does the Vulcan treatment have on rust? The removal of scale in this case is also the removal of rust. As soon as scale deposits have been built up, iron particles typically embed into it. That is the reason why most of the scale is red and not white. Iron in the scale that gives a red color to the substance. When the Vulcan treatment takes out the scale deposits, it simultaneously removes all the rust with it. Clearing out the deposits is a gentle process where scale is brought back into solution and then is washed out in the water. It's washed out as calcium, magnesium, and iron, and other minerals. It is absolutely safe to drink as these are all healthy minerals. What does the Vulcan treatment do to bacterial growth? The removal of scale is also at the same time the removal of bacteria. Scale is a rough surface with many little areas in it. We know that the scale acts as a breeding ground for bacteria and other unwanted substances. As soon as Vulcan is installed and the scale is cleaned away, the bacterial breeding ground disappears. This way, bacterial contamination is greatly reduced or even fully removed.